Mysterious, shadowy, close to invisible. Yet they're there. In the woods and in the wild, hunting for food and living the pack life. After years of being endangered, gray wolves are slowly coming back. They're an important part of our ecosystem and beautiful in nature. We know a lot about them, yet they're still so captivating. The eyes say it all. The mysterious gray wolf. What would you do if you saw a wolf in the wild? First, you might wonder, is that a wolf or a dog? A wolf does resemble the German shepherds a lot of people have as pets. That's because wolves share a common ancestry and DNA with dogs. But don't be fooled, wolves have stout, blocky muzzles. Their skulls are different too, with a bigger brain capacity. They're much larger than most dogs and coyotes. Wolves have yellow gold eyes, longer legs, and bigger teeth. So unlike dogs, wolves are built to live in the wild and hunt other animals for food and survival.
Every single dog from Chihuahua to St. Bernard, from what we know now, actually had the wolf as the ancestor. So there's so many neat similarities that we can see in our own homes when we watch our dogs interact with us. But the difference is that when dogs came to live with us, we didn't want all of those wild behaviors when they were with us. We wanted them to give up something really important and really key to their survival, and that is we wanted them to give up being the boss of the pack. We wanted them to give that to us, and that's one of the most important behavior differences between a wolf and a dog.
Gray wolves are bigger than most dogs, 26 to 34 inches tall at the shoulder and 4.5 to 6.5 feet long from the tip of their nose to the end of their tail. They weigh between 70 and 135 pounds when full grown, though some can get even bigger. A few extreme cases found in Canada and Alaska weighed up to 170 pounds. That could be as big as your dad, uncle, or big brother. Wolves have about 42 teeth and very long canines, designed to hold on to their prey. In fact, their teeth are their primary tools for survival. A wolf's jaw can create 1,500 pounds of pressure per square inch. That's powerful, about 5 times stronger than a human jaw and strong enough to shatter animal bones. With their powerful backs and legs, wolves are built for long-distance travel. They usually trot along at about 6 miles per hour, but when they're in a chase, they can blast forward at 40 miles per hour. Wow! Wolf paws are large, so they are able to tread easily on almost any type of ground surface, even snow. Between each toe is a little bit of webbing and special blood vessels that keep their paws from freezing. And here's something remarkable. Scent glands between wolves' toes leave subtle smells behind as they travel. This helps wolves cover a lot of ground while keeping other wolves informed about where they are. Wolves have a very good sense of smell, about 100 times greater than humans. That's why when you see a wolf rolling in something smelly, they're trying to cover up their own scent so they can hunt without being detected. Gray wolves are built to survive outdoors, even in harsh climates, with a thick coat that has 2 layers. The outermost coat repels water and dirt. Underneath is a water-resistant layer for insulation and warmth. Because there are 5 subspecies of the gray wolf, their fur colors vary quite a bit, from the grays and browns that blend with tree trunks in the forest, to the white coats that camouflage a wolf in the snow, to the reds and blacks of the Mexican gray wolf. As you can see, wolves are built to do what they need to do in the wild: travel, hunt, and survive. And even though they belong to the same genetic family as dogs, they are not domesticated and should never be approached by humans.
Make no attempt to make friends with any size critter that's in the wild. Wild animals need to stay away from us for our safety and for their safety. So your best bet, if you come across any wild animal that doesn't appear to want to go away from you, is you stay near an adult and make some noise. Make lots of noise. Wild animals don't like lots of noise, so that really is helpful to make noise to make them go away. So other than that, most of the time, you're going to be lucky enough to watch them run away from you, and you'll have a wonderful moment in the wild.
So what's it like to grow up wolf? You'd be surprised how similar their social structure is to most of the families you know. There is usually a dominant pair of wolves that act kind of like the mom and dad of the pack. They usually bond for life, have pups, and eventually hunt as a family until the pups are ready to go off on their own. How do we know so much about how wolves socialize? At places like the International Wolf Center in Ely, Minnesota, experts study wolves and educate people from all over the world. Using distance learning technology, kids as far away as Alabama or Florida can see and learn about live wolves in their natural habitat.
We're able to take the great resources here at the center and bring it out to the world through distance learning, which is fun, it's engaging, it's real, and it happens.
When researchers want to find a wolf, they head out by car or plane and use a special transmitter and antenna to locate them. The staff tracks wolves using radio telemetry and studies their behavior in the wild. First, the wolves are caught, and collars like this one are put on them. There's a transmitter inside. Then the wolves are released. Each wolf's collar has a frequency number, so when the transmitter is dialed into that number, it's like tuning into a radio station, but instead they're tuning into a particular wolf.
So it's kind of like your favorite radio channel at home, but these are WLOF. They're broadcasting their signal across the airways, and we're picking it up with our antenna and our receiver, just like you would a radio station at home.
An antenna is used to pick up a wolf's location. It beeps when the wolf is close by. This kind of specialized tracking helps researchers study where wolves are, where they go, what they do, what they eat, and how they form packs.
When we can understand what wolves do, how they live, we can understand how we as humans should interact with them, what we can do to help them, what we might be doing to hinder their ability to survive. So through wolf research in the Ely area, we're understanding wolves so that we can learn to live with them.
No social group, whether it's a human family or a wolf pack, can interact and survive without some way to communicate. The more we study wolves, the more we realize that they have very distinct ways of showing their emotions and desires. Like dominance, when a wolf wants to say, "I'm stronger than you," it stands stiff-legged and tall, ears erect and forward, hackles bristled, and tail curled back. Or submission, when a wolf admits, "I know you're dominant," it lowers its body and puts its tail down between its legs. Sometimes it even rolls over on its back. A wolf shows anger with erect ears, fur bristling, maybe even a show of teeth. It shows fear by trying to make its body small, with ears flat and tail tucked. When it's happy, it wags its tail and frolics, just like a happy dog. And what about communicating with sound? Wolves have a language all their own, including angry snarls, fearful whimpering, and their signature, howling. Howling is important for wolves because it helps pack members keep in touch, especially in thick forests or when they are miles away from each other. Howling can call pack members to come to a certain place, or it can be used to say, "Hey, this is mine, back off," especially if they've got food. In the wild, wolves must hunt constantly because they need almost 4 pounds of meat per day, though they often eat a lot at one time and then don't eat for several days. Packs hunt together for larger animals like deer, while a few solitary wolves depend on smaller animals like mice, squirrels, and rabbits. At the Minnesota Zoo, packs of Great Plains wolves and endangered Mexican gray wolves don't have to worry about food. For now, they're thriving as part of a recovery program to help restore wolf populations in the wild.
In the southern part of the U.S., especially in Arizona and New Mexico, there was a type of wolf called the Mexican wolf, and people wiped that out too. But there were some left in Mexico, So the government went to Mexico and caught the last wolves that were remaining there, put them into captivity, like the Minnesota Zoo, and allowed them to breed. And now they're taking some of those animals that are breeding, or some of the offspring, and putting them back into Arizona and New Mexico and trying to get a population started there.
So that the Mexican greys at the Minnesota Zoo never get comfortable around humans, the staff takes extra care to make sure they fear people. That way, if they are ever released into the wild, they'll have a better chance of survival.
The worst thing we could do is have them be comfortable around people. Whenever wolves get too close to people, there tends to be a problem. Getting too close to dogs, getting too close to cattle, sheep, chickens, things like that. So for us, with the Mexican wolf program, we treat our wolves very different than any other animal here at the zoo. We are completely hands-off. We don't do any training like we do with other animals because we don't want them coming anywhere near us. We want them to be completely terrified of us, basically, because at any time these animals could go back into the wild and hopefully start up new packs out in the wild as part of the recovery program.
There is good news and bad news about wolves in the wild today. While the gray wolf used to flourish across North America, Eurasia, and the Middle East, today they are found mostly in the forests of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. The Mexican gray wolf remains in danger, while the Great Plains wolf is making a comeback. Today, experts from all walks of life are cooperating to study wolves, share their knowledge with each other, educate adults and kids, and help wolves flourish in the wild.
Wolves need space. They need wild space to just run and live and hunt deer and have their pups. And so anything that helps habitat, anything that helps preserve wild places helps wolves a lot. And so environmental organizations or picking up litter, right on down to recycling, all those pieces help make the environment better, and that helps wolves.
After years of being endangered, gray wolves are slowly coming back. They're an important part of our ecosystem and beautiful in nature. The eyes say it all. The mysterious gray wolf.